You have the power to make changes in your life to change that trajectory. So I'm going to break this down for you. I want this to be really, really clear to you. When you get a scary diagnosis, it is not spelling out your future. Your diagnosis cannot control what you do as the next step of your life and what you choose to do as the next step and the following steps. And one of the things that I implore you, if you are a doctor listening to this, please do not take away people's hope. Please do not give people death sentences by saying you only have 3 months to live. And please do not listen to a doctor that tells you that. Nobody has the right to tell you how long you have to live. Okay, so let's dive in. You get a scary diagnosis and it tells you that you have this going on with you, stage 2 or 3 or something, and you're like, oh my God, this is a death sentence. Always remember that where you are right now is a culmination of everything you have been through up to this point. And at any point in time, you can change your direction. So treat that moment as a wake-up call. Now, instead of focusing on the trajectory of that diagnosis, should you keep going on this same path, I would like to invite you to shift your focus on thinking about a different path, about what you could do instead to change that. We all have the power to change the trajectory of our health. All that a scary diagnosis is telling you is that this is the trajectory of your health at this point in time, no matter what the diagnosis is. And I want to remind you of my story in case you don't know it. I literally came back from the brink of death. At the state that I was in, I weighed 85 pounds. I had end stage cancer, end stage. I had tumors the size of golf balls that had metastasized throughout my body, throughout my lymphatic system, from the base of my skull, all around my neck, under my arms, in my chest, in my abdomen. My body stopped absorbing nutrition. My lungs were filled with fluid. I couldn't walk because my muscles had atrophied. I was either in a wheelchair or in bed. And because my lungs were filled with fluid, I could not lie flat. And my organs shut down. And I went into a coma. And the doctors said I wasn't coming back. These were my final hours. And yet it turned around. And I can tell you the reason it turned around was because in that time, while everyone, for all my family to see, for all intents and purposes, I was in a coma, I'd actually entered another world where I realized that at any point in time, we can turn our lives around. I could continue in that trajectory and die, or I could choose to shift the trajectory and live my life differently. There are many paths open to you. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. If my life can turn around at that point and I can fully heal and recover with no trace of cancer in my body, so can you, if that's what you want. And there's a key there. Do you want to live longer? Do you want a life of health and happiness and joy and everything else that could possibly await you? Or do you hate your life so much that it's so miserable? Or do you feel so trapped by your circumstances that you would rather continue on this trajectory and have a peaceful crossing over? I know what I just said may be a little provocative, but there is so much that you can do to change the trajectory of your life. But something else that you need to know is that you need to want to change it. You need to have a desire to live long. You need to feel that there is a reason for you to live. So when somebody receives a scary diagnosis, here's what I would tell them. I'm going to look at you as if you have just received a diagnosis, or even if you're someone who's tuned in, who's dealing with a health challenge, and you're dealing with constantly going for tests and doctors and healthcare givers telling you, oh no, it's getting worse. Oh, it's this. And this is the normal trajectory for it. And next you're going to experience that it's going to do this to your body. If you're dealing with all of that, here's what I want to tell you. I want to tell you that if you want to live, I want you to start imagining and visualizing that you have a clean bill of health. Start to imagine that the doctors have just told you that you have a clean bill of health and you have no trace of disease in your body. Now go out and live the rest of your life. So imagine that first. Now, the second thing to imagine is, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? What is it that you actually want to do now that you have the clean bill of health? Are you going to go and live the life that you've already been living? Because that's the life that took you to where you are right now. That's the life that is the trajectory of where you are right now, getting this wake-up call. So you don't want to live the life that has made you sick or made you miserable. So you have to think about, what is the life that I want to live? If I could live any life that I wanted, what would it look like? What would it feel like? Start getting clarity on your ideal life. That's number one, your ideal life. What would it look like? What would it feel like? And as you start to get clarity, you might find there are certain things, certain changes that you can start to make right away. And some changes might be harder than others. So start with the easier ones. It might be something like, oh, in this life that I envision, I have more time to actually have fun and play and do some of my hobbies instead of working all the time. Start to implement those things. Or it could be, I have more time with my kids or my grandkids or my partner or my pets. Start to implement those things anyway.